Hey my friend, welcome to Lions Mane Media. Jonah here. Originally, I had thought to title this video, The One Thing Marketing Gurus Won't Tell You About Audiences. But as I thought about it more, I realized there's a bit more lessons to be learned than just that one thing I wanted to talk about. And also as a fair warning, I will be trying something different with how I've done things on my end for probably the next few videos, just to see if that helps streamline the process for me so I'm able to get these out for you more easily. And if it works, I'll be sticking with it. Now let's get into the meat of this lesson, I guess, or topic. The question of know thyself gets asked a lot. But what does it really mean? Honestly, to me, it generally means being objective about yourself. Like being able to take an outside look at your life or your personality or whatever's going on in it, rather than being in the thick of it. It's kind of like, it's like a video game perspective, in a sense. Like oftentimes there's first person and third person. And third person has a lot of variations on it. But it's like first person, you're either in the action and dealing with all that and have the awareness of only what's in front of you. Whereas third person, you kind of see things from different angles. Like it might just be over the shoulder, but so you may be able to see someone coming up behind you when they're really close, but otherwise, or it could be like you're seeing the whole field of wherever you are, so you can make judgments based on that. So knowing thyself is, I guess, like that. It's like switching the camera. And one of those things is being able to separate ourselves from our feelings. Because we often use phrases like, I'm so angry, or I'm sad, I'm scared, whatever. But it's like knowing thyself is being able to say, okay, I'm feeling angry, or I'm feeling sad, or I'm feeling scared, and why am I feeling this way? And do I want to feel this way? And what can I do that I'm feeling about this way? It's like being able to solve things or look at things in it from a different perspective than just being like, oh, I am this way. Which also means being aware of our weaknesses and strengths. This kind of this paradox I always like to think of, in that people are either totally unaware of any faults in themselves, or they're painfully and excruciatingly aware of every single one. It's like there's no middle ground almost. It's like you're the one or the other. And maybe probably sometimes it could be depending on the situation. But it's just kind of interesting to watch once you think about. Because like, oh yeah, do they know what they just said? Or, wow, did I really just say that? And the thing is, with weaknesses and strengths, once we're aware of them, it actually almost fosters community in a way. Because like, oh wait a minute, you're good at that, I'm good at that. We can work together. Or I can come alongside you to help you in this area. Or I need help in this area. It's like, again, it's kind of like we're all individuals. So it's once we become aware of that, it almost draws us closer together. It's one of those interesting paradoxes, in a sense. I'm probably going to talk about a lot of paradoxes in the future, to be honest. But the other thing of knowing thyself is being aware of our own biases and perspectives. I like to refer to this as you-tinted glasses, because it's all our perspectives on the world, how things are, how things operate, all determined based on how we were trained or what we know or what we've experienced. it's almost like the thing is that anyone who says they can give an unbiased view is probably lying in a sense, or at some point, because it's like almost anytime I hear a reporter say, "Oh, I'm going to give a completely unbiased report," well then a few sentences later asked a question that's like, that is actually completely biased that you would even ask that question. So it's just kind of interesting once we think about it, because then it's like once we're aware of biases, we may actually be able to step outside of it, but if we don't actually think we have biases, then we probably can't be trusted to be objective. And then there's the importance of actually knowing the audience we're talking to, because then it's like the perspective thing. It's like once we know where we're coming from and where our audience is, then we can probably try and bridge that gap or cross that chasm or whatever you want to call it. And it also lets us do like the in-jokes or whatever on internet with people. It's like how you may have two very different friends. Like they like different food, they like different activities, all those kinds of things. So you know that when I'm talking to one, I'll probably say things that I wouldn't say about the other one. Or wouldn't say things to the other one, I guess. And I'm still figuring out all the audience stuff myself, because it was probably my weakest point with marketing. So, yeah, but I have picked up a few things that are just kind of interesting. And that is oftentimes the thing of just think about the one person, the audience of one. Like, people often create an audience avatar to basically write to, so that it's not like, oh, I'm writing to all these people. I'm actually addressing a single person, and they look like, and this is kind of their story, this is their background, this is what they liked, and so forth, so that I'm actually almost having this conversation with a person rather than trying to address a group. And so I'll do what I would address a person as, since oftentimes it is one-on-one, even if you are broadcasting to a large group. And then the other thing is that people often look for this audience that is almost like us. And that's kind of this scary thing that I was talking about, that duos probably don't mention that often. Well, it leads to the scary thing, I should say. Because the thing is, we tend to so often finding out people that are just like us that we don't realize that there might be another audience that's even better out there for us to connect to. And again, that's part of like the niches of audiences, is that you find different things that people like or whatever. It's like on YouTube you can probably find a channel for anything, and actually multiple channels for everything, to be honest. And each one has certain audiences, and you probably may not get the same ads on those, or they may have a different way of referencing it, and even people in the same niches may address different groups of that niche, in a sense. So it's like important to find the niche you're in, or find the niche you want to be in. Of course, that's the thing, is that the one thing marketing duos won't probably say too often is that, can that audience actually provide for your livelihood? Because then, as I come from the perspective of being creative and so forth, so it's like in the old days an artist could have a patron noble or whatever, and it's like, oh, they could provide for all their needs and all those things as long as the artist kept producing artwork for them. And that's kind of the thing with niches, is that they can become so niche that there may not actually be anyone in there who will pay you for what you do. So then it kind of becomes a passion project. But if you're thinking, oh, this is so great and everyone should like it, it's like, you kind of want to be aware of yourself and the audience so that you know if you're actually writing to a niche. And it's like, it's actually kind of simple, because I think it's like, if 100 people know you, probably 10 may like you, and 1 may trust you. So it's like, doing that math is like kind of, okay, how many people do I need to trust me in order to provide for my needs? So that kind of tells you how big of a niche you need to have, in a sense. So again, both knowing thyself and knowing thy audience are important concepts to have, because it allows us to communicate clearly with them, and also knowing where we are and where they are. It also lets us be objective as, am I chasing this audience simply because I want to be liked by them? Or am I chasing this audience because I know I can provide something for them and they will actually enjoy it and also trust me on it? Because then, oftentimes people can sense when you're just doing it for pure money's sake. And it kind of comes out in how you do it as well. Which is why I was trying to be careful with this video and figured I should have more value in it. But again, it's important to be aware of what we're doing and where we're coming from. Anyway, if you have any thoughts or comments, please leave them in the comments below. And if you want to see more of this content, like and subscribe. And I'm pretty sure this will become a running gag of me still trying to figure out what to say at the end of these videos. So until then, have a great rest of your day, and talk to you later.